What's going on, Thacker, and welcome to the 4th annual The Best of the Year Awards, or for short, TBFOTYA. Now, just in case you're unaware, the Best of the Year Awards is where I compile every newly released film I've seen this year into different categories, all leading up to the best film of the year. Now, if there is a film in our series that's not present here, then that probably means it wasn't good enough to get nominated, or I didn't see it. Because unfortunately I don't have the time and or money to see every single film in our series that is released. But we have 43 here today, and I'd say it's a pretty good amount. So without any further ado, let's begin the Best Film of the Year Awards 2025. We're starting off with nominations for Best Horror Film. The nominations for Best Horror Film are Wolfman, Heart Eyes, Sinners, Clown in a Cornfield, Final Destination, Bloodlines, Predator Killer of Killers, Weapons, Good Boy, Black Phone 2, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and the winner is Weapons. Produced by New Line Cinema and distributed by Warner Brothers, directed by Zach Kreger, produced by Roy Lee, Mira Yoon, J.D. Lipschitz, and Raphael Marglus. Starring Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, Austin Abrams, Carrie Christopher, Toby Huss, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. Cinematography by Larkin Sepul, edited by Joe Murphy, music by Ryan Hayes Holiday. Weapons is a refreshingly unique, one-of-a-kind film that tells a truly bizarre and great story that shows the metaphors for addiction and their effects not only on the people that use them, but the people around them. They really can only be told through the genre of horror. It's rare that a film can be such a surprise and tell such a unique story, but Weapons did just that. And it did it greatly. Weapons is the clear winner of Best Horror Film of 2025. Next, we have the nominations for Best Cinematography. The nominations for Best Cinematography are Sinners, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Weapons, One Battle After Another, Good Boy, Black Phone 2, Predator: Badlands, Wicked for Good, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Avatar: Fire and Ash. And the winner is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Produced by Double Dare You Productions, D'Amelio Films, Bluegrass 7, and distributed by Netflix. Directed and written by Guillermo del Toro, produced by Guillermo del Toro, J. Miles Dale, and Scott Stubber. Starring Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, and Christoph Waltz. Cinematography by Dan Lewiston. Edited by Evan Schiff. Music by Alexandre Desplat. Frankenstein is a take on the classic story by Mary Shelley, through the eyes of visionary Guillermo del Toro. It is impressive to be able to do something new but also faithful to such an iconic story, which has been adapted too many times to count. The film echoes the messaging and morals we've heard so many times now, but now more than ever need to be heard again. Just because you could do something doesn't mean you should. Mary Shelley wrote it, Jeff Goldblum said it, and now Del Toro has showed us it. And its gorgeous and grand scale cinematography just makes that all the more clear. It makes this already grand story all the more grand. It grabs your attention and doesn't let go, showing everything it needs to and should. Frankenstein is the clear winner of Best Cinematography of 2025. Next, with the nominations for Best Comedy. The nominations for Best Comedy are Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, Heart Eyes, Paddington, Peru, Mickey 17, Novocaine, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, Death of a Unicorn, a Minecraft movie, Clown in a Cornfield, The Naked Gun, Good Fortune, Anaconda. And the winner is The Naked Gun. Produced by Paramount Pictures and Fuzzy Door Productions. Distributed by Paramount Pictures. Directed and written by Akiva Schaffer. Written by Dan Greger and Doug Mand. Produced by Seth MacFarlane and Akira Huggins. Starring Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Halser, Kevin Durand, and Danny Houston. Cinematography by Brandon Trost. Edited by Brian Scott Olds. Music by Lauren Balfe. The Naked Gun is not only a hilarious film, but a film that stays true to the humor and the feel of the original Naked Gun movies. It pays its respects as it should, but doesn't get lost in just being another Naked Gun movie. It's a smart and clever comedy that had me and many others laughing from start to end. It shows the comedy can still be just as funny as ever. The Naked Gun is the clear winner of Best Comedy of 2025. Next, with the nominations for Best Choreographing. The nominations for Best Choreographing are Novocaine, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Ballerina, Wicked for Good. And the winner is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Produced by Paramount Pictures, Skydance Media, and Tom Cruise Productions. Distributed by Paramount Pictures. Directed and written by Christopher McQuarrie. Written by Eric Jernerdson. Produced by Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie. Starring Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Henry Cusrini, and Angela Bassett. Cinematography by Fraser Taggart. edited by Eddie Hamilton, music by Max Arge, and Alfie Godfrey. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, while yes wasn't the highest something my franchise could have ended on, at least for its standard of quality, but it was still overall a really good film. And of course has some great choreographing. Nothing less to be expected from a Mission Impossible movie. Needless to say, if a film where one of its main actors is actively involved in stunts and action scenes that could lead to his potential death, choreographing is key. This film studio choreographers worked with Christopher McQuarrie to make sure these stunts are pulled off well and safely. All this hard work is clear in the final product. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is the clear winner of Best Choreographing of 2025. Next for the nominations for Best Drama. The nominations for Best Drama are Wolfman, Sinners, Weapons, The Long Walk, One Battle After Another, Good Boy, Black Phone 2, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Marty Supreme. And the winner is The Long Walk. Produced by Vertigo Entertainment and About Blade Productions, distributed by Lionsgate Films, directed by Franz Lawrence, written by T.J. Molnar, produced by Roy Lee, Steven Schneider, Francis Lawrence, and Karen McConey. Starring Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Garrett Waring, Tut Newott, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang, Jordan Gazales, Roman Griffin Davis, Josh Hamilton, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill. Cinematography by Joe Willems, music by Jeremiah Freites. The Long Walk tells the story of the Stephen King novel. It doesn't hold back in doing so. It tells this tragic and deeply emotional and to an extent even disturbing story in as much detail as necessary. As these characters go through this torment, you quickly grow to be attached and invested in them, to the point by the end of this film I was crying. The Long Walk is the clear winner of Best Drama of 2025. Next was the nomination for Best Costume Design, Makeup, and Hairstyling. The nominations for Best Costume Design, Makeup, and Hairstyling are Wolfman, Sinners, How to Train Your Dragon, Superman, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, and the winner is Wicked for Good. Produced by Mark Platt Productions, distributed by Universal Studios, directed by John M. Chu, written by Weenie Holtzman and Dana Fox. Produced by Mark Platt and David Stone, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Bowen Yang, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. Cinematography by Alice Brooks, edited by Myron Kirsten. Music by John Powell and Steven Schwartz. What yes, we ended up being a huge disappointment, its costume design and makeup is unmistakably great. Paul Taz will be responsible for this film's great costumes, and Francis Harris will be responsible for this film's great makeup and hairstyling respectively. These costumes look visually stunning. It is a major part making you feel like you truly are in the world of Oz. The same can be said for the makeup and hairstyling, especially when it comes to the makeup. I of course referring to Elphaba's green skin, which never once looks like makeup. Wicked for Good is the clear winner of Best Costume Design, Makeup, and Hairstyling of 2025. Next were the nominations for Best Action Film. The nominations for Best Action Film are Naza 2, Novocaine, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, Predator Killer Killers, Ballerina, Superman, One Battle After Another, Predator Badlands, Avatar Fire and Ash. And the winner is Avatar Fire and Ash. Produced by Landstorm Entertainment, distributed by 20th Century Studios, directed by James Cameron, written by Rick Joffa and Amanda Silver, produced by James Cameron and John Landau, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Una Chaplin, and Kate Winslet. Cinematography by Russell Carpenter, edited by Stephen E. Rifkin, David Brenner, Nicholas D. Toth, Joey Foa, Jason Gaudio, and James Cameron. Music by Simon Franklin. Avatar Fire and Ash, of course, has its beautiful and groundbreaking effects. But something that Avatar films always have is action. With these stories being a large world of sorts of unique settings and creatures, there are many opportunities for very creative and unique action scenes. And Fire and Ash certainly has many. It is intense and compelling action that leave your eyes glued to the screen, not wanting to miss a second. Avatar Fire and Ash is the clear winner of Best Action Film of 2025. Next we have the nominations for Best Original Soundtrack. Now do keep in mind, this is only including instrumental music, not musical vocal songs. Best Musical is a category on its own, but since I do have to see two very genre for that category to count, that category was not eligible this year, so I just want to make that clear. The nominations for Best Original Soundtrack are Ludwig Göransson, Sinners, Michael Giacchino, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Joni Greenwood, One Battle After Another, John Powell, Wicked for Good, Michael Giacchino, Zootopia 2, The Newton Brothers, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Simon Franklin, Avatar Fire and Ash, Daniel Lopatin, Marty Supreme, and the winner is Michael Giacchino, The Fantastic Four First Steps. Produced by Marvel Studios, distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, directed by Max Shackman, written by Josh Friedman, Eric Pearson, John Kaplan, and Ian Springer. Produced by Kevin Feige, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Evan Moss, Joseph Quinn, Julia Garner, Sarah Niles, Mark Gatiss, Natasha Lyonne, and Ralph Vinson. Cinematography by Jess Hall, edited by Noah Kodai, and Tim Rochi. Music by Michael Giacchino. The Fantastic Four First Steps is one of the best Marvel movies in years, and one of the best comic movies ever made, period. And it was of course built to the brim with plenty of superhero epicness, but all the more enhanced by the great score from Michael Giacchino. Giacchino has had a long and lengthy career as a film composer, and this is another of many great examples of this man's undeniable talent. The film's score knows when to be big for big action scenes, subtle for the more emotional, character-driven scenes, and has that subtle but not overpowering 60s sound which matches the 60s look of the film. Michael Giacchino's score for the Fantastic Four First Steps is the clear winner of Best Original Soundtrack at Time 25. Next, we have the nomination for Best Comic Book Movie. The nominations for Best Comic Book Movie are Superman, The Fantastic Four First Steps, and the winner is The Fantastic Four First Steps. Produced by Marvel Studios, distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, directed by Max Shackman, written by Josh Friedman, Eric Pearson, John Kaplan, and Ian Springer. Produced by Kevin Feige, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Evan Moss, Joseph Quinn, Julia Garner, Sarah Niles, Mark Gatiss, Natasha Lyonne, and Ralph Vinson. Cinematography by Jess Hall, edited by Noah Kodai, and Tim Rochi. Music by Michael Giacchino. Yes, The Fantastic Four First Steps is one of the best comic book movies ever made, having plenty of what makes any good comic book movie. High-stakes action, grand set pieces, etc. But also has a large amount of runtime devoted just to character development. With looming big bads, large source of conflict, the babies of our main characters just as much, if not more so. Family coming together is the core of this movie, with its superhero-isms being a close second. It's not what you typically expect going into a superhero movie, and that's just what made it so fantastic. The Fantastic Four First Steps is the clear winner of Best Comic Book Movie of Time 25. Next, the nomination for Best Sound Design. The nominations for Best Sound Design are Wolfman, The Electric State, A Minecraft Movie, Sinners, Final Destination Bloodlines, Predator Killer Killers, Ballerina, Jurassic World Rebirth, Weapons, Good Boy, Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Avatar Fire and Ash, and the winner is Good Boy. Produced by What's Wrong with Your Dog, distributed by Independent Film Company and Shudder, directed and written by Ben Lindenberg, written by Alex Kanan, produced by Kari Fisher and Ben Lindenberg, starring Andy, Shane Jennison, Arbil Friedman, and Larry Fessenden. Cinematography by Wade Grebinel, edited by Curtis Roberts, music by Sam Boyce Miller. Good Boy is a horror film that quickly made the rounds for being new, original, unique, and different. And it was a delight to see this horror film with the POV of a dog wasn't just something that made for a good 10-minute short film, but made for a great fully feature horror film. A truly one-of-a-kind film that has made me and many others trying to see more from Lindenberg. But what they truly make Good Boy as good as it was its impeccable sound design. With this horror film being from the POV of a dog, it was important for every little or big sound to be as impactful as it needed to be. And luckily, Brian Goodhart, Kelly Oostman, and Sam Bowes Miller made sure of that. And with all being made from scratch just for the film, it's not only effective, it's impressive. Good Boy is the clear winner of Best Sound Design of Time 25. Next, we have the nomination for Best Animated Film. The nominations for Best Animated Film are Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, Naza 2, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes Movie, Predator Killer of Killers, Zootopia 2, and the winner is Predator Killer of Killers. Produced by 20th Century Studios Animation and Lawrence Gordon Productions. Distributed by Hulu, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, written by Michio Robert Ritter. Produced by John Davis, Dan Trachtenberg, Mark Toberf, and Ben Rosenblatt. Starring Lindsay Levanchi, Laura Sazawa, Rick Gonzalez, and Michael Biehn. Edited by Stephen Grube, music by Benjamin Wallfish. Predator Killer of Killers continues the Predator franchise's great current era. The medium of animation allows this franchise to go where it never has gone before, with stunning action and gorgeous visuals. So these other films could be done maybe in live action, would definitely cost a pretty penny. But with it being animated, it looks even better and costed even less. This film being an anthology also lets us have some of your facial locations and characters, all which is as interesting to follow as the last. This also pushes animated films as a whole forward, with this one being very violent and bloody, and maybe we'll talk about some dominoes that will lead to more great adult animated films. Predator Killer Killers is the clear winner of Best Animated Film of 2025. Next on nominations for Best Production Design. The nominations for Best Production Design are Mickey 17, The Electric State, A Minecraft Movie, Sinners, How to Train Your Dragon, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, The Running Man, Wicked for Good, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Avatar Fire and Ash. And the winner is Wicked for Good. Produced by Mark Platt Productions, distributed by Universal Studios, directed by John M. Chu, written by Weenie Holtzman and Dana Fox. Produced by Mark Platt and David Stone, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Bowen Yang, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. Cinematography by Alice Brooks, edited by Myron Kirsten. Music by John Powell and Steven Schwartz. Again, Wicked for Good was ultimately a disappointment, but its stellar production design is undeniable. Nathan Crowley makes us feel and look like a believable and fantastical lived-in world. There's nothing like Oz we have in our world, and this film sets make sure of that. It's stylistically stunning, it's big, grand, and beautiful. It captures the land of Oz we've come to know, as well as having its own flavor. Wicked for Good is the clear winner of Best Production Design of 2025. Next are nominations for Most Disappointing Film. The nominations for Most Disappointing Film are Paddington in Peru, The Electric State, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic World Rebirth, Tron Ares, The Running Man, Wicked for Good. And the winner is Wicked for Good. Produced by Mark Platt Productions, distributed by Universal Studios, directed by John M. Chu, written by Weenie Holtzman and Dana Fox. Produced by Mark Platt and David Stone, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Bowen Yang, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. Cinematography by Alice Brooks, edited by Myron Kirsten. Music by John Powell and Steven Schwartz. As I said a few times in this video, Wicked for Good did have a lot of great things about it, but at the end of the day, it was a pretty big disappointment. The first film set up a second film that would surely be the big grand finale of what the story had been so far. But it was not a grand finale, and just barely managed to squeak by as a good enough ending for this world and characters. Whether it be odd plot detours, and character developments, and overall very underwhelming and disappointing ending to what could have been a great duology. Wicked for Good is the clear winner of Most Disappointing Film of 2025. Next are the nominations for Director with the Most Unique Vision. Now, just to clarify, this is not taking the actual quality of the film into consideration. This category is for films in which its director's own unique style and vision shines through the most. A film that is unmistakably from that director, whether it's good or bad. The nominations for Director with the Most Unique Vision are Osgood Perkins, The Monkey, Bong Joon-ho, Mickey 17, Ryan Coogler, Sinners, Dan Trachtenberg, Predator Killer of Killers, James Gunn, Superman, Zach Kreger, Weapons, Francis Lawrence, The Long Walk, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Ben Lindenberg, Good Boy, Dan Trachtenberg, Predator Badlands, Guillermo del Toro, Frankenstein, James Cameron, Avatar Fire and Ash. And the winner is Ryan Coogler, Sinners. Produced by Proximity Media, distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, directed and written by Ryan Coogler, produced by Zenny Coogler, Seville Hanen, and Ryan Coogler. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Caton, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Mosuka, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller, and Deloy Lindo. Cinematography by Autumn Derland Arkabaugh. Edited by Michael P. Shawver. Music by Ludwig Göransson. Sinners was the first one that everyone collectively agreed was great. And that makes sense. Sinners is a great film. The way this is a spectacular, unique vampire horror film, at its core, Sinners is about the power of music. How it affects and connects everyone, no matter their age, religion, color, gender, or undeadness. It's about this universal language that connects all of us. But how, like with everything, even it has its horrors. And this was shown beautifully by director Ryan Coogler, who clearly had a very specific and determined vision with this film, which was met with flying colors. This film could have only been made by one director, and that's clearly Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler for Sinners is the clear winner of Director with the Most Unique Vision of 2025. Next on nominations for Best Series. The nominations for Best Series are The Last of Us Season 2, Wednesday Season 2, Alien Earth Season 1, It Welcome to Derry Season 1, and the winner is The Last of Us Season 2. Produced by HBO, Sony Pictures Television, PlayStation Studios, Naughty Dog, The Mighty Mint, and Word Games. Distributed by Warner Bros. Discovery, show written by Craig Mason and Neil Druckmann, written by Neil Druckmann, Craig Mason, and Haley Gross. Written by Carlin Strauss, Evan Wales, Asad Quillsbash, and Carter Swan. Starring Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabriel Luna, Isabella Merced, and Young Mazzino. Cinematography by Christina Sturgia and Catherine Goldschmidt. Edited by Timothy A. Good and Emily Mendez. Music by Gustavo Santaolalla and David Fleming. The Last of Us Season 2 continues to tell absolutely stellar storytelling. While not reaching the heights of its first season, The Last of Us Season 2 still tells a beautiful and tragic story about the consequences of revenge and the power of forgiveness. It shows us in the most heartbreaking and tragic ways possible. At times it is sad, but it's also necessary to tell this fantastic story. I can only hope that Season 3 continues and finishes this grand story. The Last of Us Season 2 is the clear winner of Best Series of 2025. Next are nominations for Best Computer-Generated Effects. The nominations for Best Computer-Generated Effects are Paddington in Peru, The Electric State, A Minecraft Movie, Final Destination Bloodlines, How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, Wicked for Good, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Avatar Fire and Ash, Anaconda. And the winner is Avatar Fire and Ash. Produced by Last Storm Entertainment, distributed by 20th Century Studios, directed by James Cameron, written by Rick Joff and Amanda Silver, produced by James Cameron and John Landau, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Una Chaplin, and Kate Winslet. Cinematography by Russell Carpenter, edited by Stephen E. Rifkin, David Brenner, Nicholas D. Toth, Joey Foa, Jason Gaudio, and James Cameron. Music by Simon Franklin. Let's be honest, as soon as you saw the nominations, and probably even before then, you already knew this was winning this award. So the Avatar movies will always undeniably have our stunning effects. It's what they're built upon and what they will always be known for. Even despite being 3 films in, the effects are just impressive, if not more so than ever. The world of Pandora is such a vast, diverse, and interesting world that offers so much. And seeing a character produce a fictional creature, which not only looks good, but still captures that human soul, will always be the most impressive thing about these movies. I hope these films will ultimately be a big step in performance capture, being fully respected and appreciated. Avatar Fire and Ash is the clear winner of Best Computer-Generated Effects of 2025. Next with nomination for Best Practical Effects. The nominations for Best Practical Effects are Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, Ballerina, Predator Badlands, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And the winner is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Produced by Blumhouse Productions, Scott Cawthon Productions, and Mind High Films. Distributed by Universal Studios, directed by Emma Tammy, written by Scott Cawthon, produced by Scott Cawthon and Jason Blum, starring Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, Pepper Rubio, McKenna Grace, Freddie Carter, Thaddeus Crane, Wayne Knight, Skeet Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard. Cinematography by Lynn Moncrief. Edited by Tim Alverson and Derek Larson. Music by the Noonan Brothers. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is certainly a divisive film, but one thing that is obvious is its fantastic practical effects. Provided by the Jurassic Creature Company, these suits and animatronics look like they were pulled straight from the 80s and or the FNAF games. The level of detail and dedication is nothing new for the Japanese company, but it is always spectacular and impressive. And hope it only leads to more practical effects in more films in the future. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a clear winner of Best Practical Effects of 2025. Next are nominations for Best Performance. The nominations for Best Performance are Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, Nicholas Hoult, Superman, Amy Madigan, Weapons, Cooper Hoffman, The Long Walk, David Johnson, The Long Walk, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, Indy, Good Boy, Madeline McGraw, Black Phone 2, Ethan Hawke, Black Phone 2, Demetrius Schuster, Kolamadagini, Predator Badlands, Oscar Isaac, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, Ariana Grande, Wicked for Good, Zoe Saldana, Avatar Fire and Ash, Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme, and the winner is Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme. Produced by Central Pictures, distributed by A24, directed by Josh Safdie, written by Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie, produced by Josh Safdie, Ronald Bronstein, Ellie Bush, Anthony Cadegas, and Timothy Chalamet, starring Timothy Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Zone, Kevin O'Leary, Tyler Oklahoma, Abel Fiara, and Fran Drescher. Cinematography by Darius Kanji. Edited by Ron Bronstein and Josh Safdie. Music by Daniel Lopatin. Marty Supreme tells the story of a man desperate to achieve history and become the world's best table tennis player, and what things will go to make that a reality. Marty is a very conflicting character. His wants are understandable, but he goes about trying to achieve them in a ruthless and unforgiving way. He's pretty unlikable, yet still strangely compelling. And maybe another actor could have shown that, but I'm not sure if he could have shown it better than Timothée Chalamet. He is what truly makes this an unforgettable character. He makes Marty's desperateness and determination so clear, yet so subtle in so many ways. This truly feels like a person, not a character. Timothée Chalamet from Marty Supreme is the clear winner of Best Performance of 2025. And finally, we have the nominations for Best Film. The nominations for Best Film are Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, Nazatu, Sinners, Predator of Killer Killers, Ballerina, Superman, The Fantastic Four: First Steps, The Naked Gun, Weapons, The Long Walk, One Battle After Another, Good Boy, Predator: Badlands, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Zootopia 2, Avatar: Fire and Ash, Marty Supreme, and the winner is Marty Supreme. Produced by Central Pictures, distributed by A24, directed by Josh Safdie, written by Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie, produced by Josh Safdie, Ronald Bronstein, Ellie Bush, Anthony Cadegas, and Timothée Chalamet. Starring Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Zone, Kevin O'Leary, Tyler Oklahoma, Abel Fiara, and Fran Drescher. Cinematography by Darius Kanji. Edited by Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie. Music by Daniel Lopatin. As mentioned previously, Marty Supreme tells the story of a man desperate not to do anything to achieve his dream. It's not common to get such an unlikable main character, yet still so compelling. It's so interesting to see what this man will go to and through. You keep wondering, will it be too much for him? When will he call it quits? But he just keeps going and going and going. I love seeing this sleazeball talk his way out of situations. And I love seeing when he doesn't. This show shows how brutal lengths man will go to achieve something. Marty Supreme is the clear winner of Best Film of 2025. Let's get some honorable mentions. The films that were nominated but didn't win any awards. Wolfman, Hard Eyes, Clan of Cornfield, Final Destination Bloodlines, Black Phone 2, Ballerina, Nazatu, One Blood After Another, Predator: Badlands, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, Mickey 17, Novocaine, Day the Earth Blew Up a Looney Tunes Movie, Death of a Unicorn, a Minecraft Movie, Good Fortune, Superman, Zootopia 2, Wednesday Season 2, Alien Earth Season 1, Ain't Welcome to Derry Season 1, Anaconda, and some honorable mentions, but mentions nonetheless. Paddington in Peru, How to Train Your Dragon, Tron Ares, The Electric State, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Running Man, The Monkey. 2025 was kind of a mixed bag for films. We definitely had some standouts, but we certainly had some lows. Next year's looking to be packed, and I can't wait to see what's in store. Thank you all for tuning into the show. I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, just like and subscribing. Bye guys for now. Bye, Mr. Thacker.